At 3:12 a.m., my doorbell rang. I didn't move. I live alone. And when I checked the security app on my phone, the camera was already turned off. That's when the knocking started, from inside the house. This isn't a ghost story. This is what actually happened. I was still awake when it happened. Not because I was anxious or scared, just restless in that quiet, late-night way where your body is tired, but your mind refuses to shut down. The house was dark, except for the faint blue glow of my phone. Every sound felt louder after midnight. The refrigerator humming, the clock ticking, my own breathing. Then the doorbell rang. One clean, electronic chime. I froze. I didn't sit up. I didn't reach for my phone right away. I just listened, holding my breath, waiting for the sound to repeat itself. It didn't. Silence rushed back in, heavier than before. No one rings doorbells at 3:12 a.m. Not by accident, not by mistake. I grabbed my phone and opened the security app. The loading wheel spun longer than usual. My stomach tightened as the screen finally changed. Camera offline. That didn't make sense. The system had battery backup. Even during power outages, it stayed online. I checked the timestamp. The camera had gone offline exactly 1 minute before the doorbell rang. I stood up slowly, my bare feet cold against the floor. The hallway felt longer than it ever had before. Each step echoed, even though I was barely moving. I didn't look through the peephole. Instead, I leaned closer to the door and listened. Nothing. No footsteps, no breathing, no shuffling, just the faint ringing in my ears. I told myself it was a glitch, a neighborhood power issue, a kid playing a prank. Then came the second ring, longer this time, insistent. I stepped back instinctively, my heart hammering hard enough that I could feel it in my throat. Before I could react, my phone vibrated violently in my hand. A notification. Front door unlocked. I stared at the screen, confused. I hadn't touched the lock. My thumb hovered uselessly above the display as another alert followed. Motion detected. Living room. I turned slowly. The living room was dark, but not empty. Something shifted just beyond the edge of the hallway light. A shape, too tall, too still. It didn't move like a person entering a room. It moved like something that had already been standing there, waiting to be noticed. I took a step back. The floor creaked. The shape reacted instantly. It tilted its head, as if listening, as if confirming that I had finally seen it. And then, behind me, the doorbell rang again. This time it came from the hallway speaker, inside the house. I didn't scream. That's the part people always get wrong. Fear doesn't always come out as noise. Sometimes it locks your throat so tightly that even air feels optional. The doorbell chimed again. Inside the house, I backed into the wall, my shoulders scraping against the paint. The shape in the living room stepped forward, just enough for the hallway light to touch it. It wasn't wearing dark clothes. It was wearing me. My face stared back from across the room, every detail perfect. Same crooked nose, same scar near the eyebrow, same tired eyes. But something was wrong. The expression didn't belong on a human face. It smiled too slowly, like it was remembering how. "Don't," I whispered, finally finding my voice. It spoke at the same time. "Don't." Same tone, same timing. Behind me, my phone vibrated again. Front door, open. Cold air rushed down the hallway. I smelled rain, dirt, something metallic. Footsteps followed, slow, deliberate, heavy. The thing wearing my face didn't turn around. It kept watching me. "You're late," it said. My voice, but calmer, confident, like it had been rehearsing this moment. Late for what? The footsteps stopped just behind me. I could feel something standing inches from my back, breathing quietly, patiently. The doorbell chimed one final time. "Come in," the thing said. Hands grabbed my shoulders and shoved me forward. I fell hard onto the living room floor. My phone slid across the tiles, spinning until the screen faced up. The security app reopened on its own. Live feed restored. The camera showed the living room clearly now. 2 figures stood over me. One was the thing wearing my face. The other was my body. I watched myself blink in confusion on the screen, lifting a phone I wasn't holding anymore. I watched my mouth move, my real mouth, forming words I couldn't hear. The thing crouched beside me. "This is where it gets easier," it said. "You stop thinking of yourself as you." I tried to crawl away. My arms didn't respond correctly. They felt wrong, heavy, like they weren't mapped properly to my thoughts. "That happens at first," it said gently. "Your brain is still expecting the old layout." I looked down at my hands. They weren't my hands. They were thinner, pale, fingers too long. The skin stretched unnaturally tight, as if it had never fit quite right. I screamed then, but no sound came out. The thing stood and straightened my body from the floor. My body, its body. It rolled its shoulders, testing the joints, smiling with satisfaction. "Good fit," it said. On the security feed, I watched myself walk to the front door. I watched my hand lock it from the inside. I watched myself look straight into the camera and smile. The feed cut to black. The thing leaned close to me, my face inches from whatever I had become. "We don't break in," it whispered. "We wait to be invited." The hallway light flickered once, then went out. "We don't break in. We wait to be invited,"